Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're watching RWBY Volume 2, Episode 2, titled Welcome to Beacon. I know, it's been a minute. I wanted to get this out before the end of the month, but surprise, surprise, my Limbus streams, the two 12-hour streams actually took me out, and I fell sick. So hi, it's August now. Let's just get into it. Come on, we know the drill. Fuck, I forgot this banger opening. Wait, this is a treat. This is a fucking treat. Ah, oh my god. I miss this show. Ah! It's so good! I need to memorize the lyrics. Okay, by episode 3, I'm gonna have memorized this whole thing. And then I'll just sing this the entire time. It'll be great. It'll be fun. It'll be great and fun. It'll be grunt. Ooh, okay, we get a nice updated sweeping shot of the entire academy. A lot of airships. Wow, talk about a budget increase. We actually have proper models for the buildings now instead, well, kinda. Instead of like the shadows, clouds obscuring this top, into them watching at the top. Okay.
Ironwood certainly loves bringing his work wherever he travels.
Well, running an academy and a military makes him a busy man. But yes, those are a
He's
bit
another
of an
headmaster?
eyesore. Come in.
Ozpin,
Hello, General.
please drop the formalities.
I've
It's
seen
been
this guy
too long.
before
And Glinda,
online.
it has certainly been too long since we last met.
Oh,
Oh, James. I'll be outside.
ooh, history.
Well, she hasn't changed a bit.
So, what in the world has brought you all the way down from Atlas?
Atlas.
Headmasters don't typically travel with their students for the Vital Festival?
Well, you know how much I love Vale this time of year. Besides, with you hosting,
Oh,
I thought this might be a good
okay.
opportunity for us to...
Not gonna question
catch
it.
up.
I can certainly appreciate quality time between friends. However, the small fleet outside my window has me somewhat concerned.
Well, concern is what brought them here.
I understand travel between kingdoms has become increasingly difficult.
Oz, you and I both know why I brought those men.
He does?
We are in a time of peace. Shows of power like this are just going to give off the wrong impression.
But if what Crow said is true, then...
If what Crow said is true, then we will handle it tactfully. It's the Vital Festival, a time to celebrate unity and peace. So I suggest you not scare people by transporting hundreds of soldiers halfway across the continent.
I'm just being cautious.
As am I, which is why we will continue to train the best huntsmen and huntresses we can.
Believe me, I am.
Damn. Well, hold up. We gotta unpack this later.
Ask yourself this. Do you honestly believe your children can win a war?
Ooh, there it is again, the theme of children. Ooh, more solid themes.
I hope they never have to.
Oh my god. Wait, this conversation's kind of fucking banger. Ah, Ruby. Your dialogue is great as ever.
Alright.
Oh god, they're playing cards.
Ying Xiaolong, prepare your kingdom for battle. Bring it on. I deploy the Elysian Air Fleet.
They're playing some sort of
Looks
RTS.
Like I get to fly right over your Ursa and attack your walls directly.
Oh shit.
You fiend! And since Atlas is part
This
of
is so
Mantle,
silly.
my repair time only lasts one turn. Pretty sneaky, sis. But you just activated my trap card.
No!
Giant Nevermore. If I roll a 7 or higher, fatal feathers will slice your fleet.
Weiss
in
looks so
two.
confused.
But if you roll a 6 or lower, the Nevermore will turn on your own forces. That's just a chance I'm willing to take.
Oh, well, someone lost.
Oh, hi.
No one is paying attention except for Ren.
Oh, have pancakes.
Okay, well she started reading it instead.
Well, Weiss, it's your turn.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
Look,
figured.
It's easy. You're playing as Vacuo, which means all Vacuo-based cards come with a bonus.
That sounds
Hey,
dumb.
backseating.
See, you've got Sandstorm, Desert Scavenge, Resourceful Raider. See, now you can take Ruby's discard air fleet.
She is so
and
devastated.
Put it in your hand.
Okay.
Blake looks
And
uninterested.
Since Vacuo warriors have an endurance boost against natural hazards, you could use Sandstorm to disable my ground forces and simultaneously infiltrate my kingdom. Just know that I will not forget this declaration of war.
And that means you're just 3 moves away from conquering Remnant.
Of course. Oh my god.
Fear the almighty power of my forces. Cower as they pillage your homes and weep as they take your children from your very arms.
Trap card.
Huh?
Your armies have been destroyed.
I hate this game of emotions we play.
Stay strong, Weiss. Through this together.
Shut up. Don't touch me.
Oh my god.
Blake, you're up.
They're so cute.
Sorry, what am I doing? You're playing as Vale, trying to conquer the kingdoms of Remnant.
I've been enlightened to something called White
Sorry,
Rose.
we've already got 4 people.
Besides, this game requires a certain level of tactical cunning that I seriously doubt you possess.
You attacked your own naval fleet 2 turns ago.
Bring it on, Ice Queen. I'll have you know that I've been told I'm a natural-born leader.
By who? Your mother?
And Pyrrha.
Hello again.
Come on, let me play your hand for a turn.
I'm not trusting you with the good citizens of Vacuo.
Why not? You've trusted me with way more important stuff before. I mean, you told us all that Blake is secretly a
fun-loving person whom we all admire and respect.
Real smooth.
Right.
Oh, so everyone knows now.
Ladies,
Great.
enjoy your battle.
Sup, losers?
Okay, finally he's back.
Ruby, Yang, Blake.
We get an
Nice to meet you.
introduction
Why does
properly.
everyone keep calling me that?
I never got a chance to formally introduce you to my old friend.
Aren't libraries for reading?
Thank you.
Shut up, don't be a nerd.
Intellectual, okay? Thank you. I'm Neptune.
So, Neptune.
Neptune.
Where are you from?
Haven. And I don't believe I've caught your name, Snow Angel.
I'm white.
Are you serious?
Kidding me?
Pleasure to meet you.
I never took you as the board game playing type.
Right. Well, I think I'm done playing, actually. I'll see you
Something's
guys
on
later.
her mind.
Women.
Brothers of the White Fang, why are you aiding this
Jesus.
and I are going in on a joint business venture together.
She's still thinking about last season.
Well, this has certainly been an eventful evening. I'm sure that after a night of thwarting attempted robbery, you probably just want to go home and take a nap.
Ooh, we're
But-
bridging the gap.
I was hoping that maybe we could have a chance to talk.
Of course.
Wonderful. As you know, in order to enroll at my academy, students must first pass a rigorous entrance exam. Most applicants spend years of preparation training at one of the many combat schools around the world. You are one of the few who did not. And you passed the exam with flying colors.
I
I
wonder
was raised outside
why.
the kingdoms. If you can't fight, you can't survive.
Well, you have most certainly survived.
It's not
Blake.
inaccurate.
I admire your drive, and I am proud to run a school that accepts individuals from all walks of life. Rich, poor, human, faunus.
That was targeted.
Why do you wear that bow, Blake?
Oh,
Why
he
hide
knows.
who you are.
You may be willing to accept the faunus, Professor Ozpin, but your species is not.
True, but we are continuing to take strides to lessen the divide.
With all due respect, you need to start taking some larger strides. Until then,
Oof.
I'd rather avoid any unnecessary attention. I want people to see me for who I am, not what I am.
Well, we can start by
what are you?
when we stop
I
calling
don't
people
understand what you're
species.
asking.
How did you know the White Fang would be at the shipyard tonight?
I didn't. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
You wouldn't have been the first.
No, literally, you
But what
went to the
happened tonight
place
was not an isolated incident.
where they were most
may be
likely
your
to not be
headmaster.
there.
But I am also a huntsman, and it is my sworn duty to protect this world from the forces that conspire against it.
The Dutch angle
Blake.
here.
Are you sure there is nothing else you would like to tell me?
I'm sure.
keeping
Very
secrets
well.
from the
Thank
adults.
you for your time, Ms. Belladonna.
But I'm sure he's got
If you ever
ways
need
to
to talk
get
to
those
me,
information anyway. But
Please don't hesitate to ask.
that creates a rift between the two of these
We should have
characters.
never let him play.
Interesting.
Because the new guy beat you. See, if you had just attacked when I told you, none of this would have happened.
Stop.
Uh,
Lately, you've been quiet, antisocial, and moody.
Have you met Blake?
Which I get is kind of your thing, but you've been doing it more than usual.
Weiss calling
which,
her out is
frankly,
crazy.
is unacceptable. You made a promise to me, to all of us, that you would let us know if something was wrong. So, Lake Belladonna, what is wrong?
Thanks for your concern, Weiss. Theater kid.
I don't understand how everyone can be so calm.
You're still thinking about Torchwick?
Torchwick, the White Fang, all of it. Something big is happening and no one is doing anything about it.
Ospen told us not to worry. Between the police and the huntsman, I'm sure they could handle it.
Well, I'm not. They don't know the White Fang like I do.
That's got a point.
Okay, between blowing up nightclubs, stopping thieves, and fighting for freedom, I'm sure the three of
Wait,
you
wait,
think
hold
you're
on,
all
wh-
ready to go out and apprehend these
When
ne'er-do-wells.
did those happen?
Who?
But let me once again be the voice of reason. We're students. We're not ready to handle this sort of situation.
Well, yeah, but
we're not ready.
And we may never be ready. Our enemies aren't just gonna sit around and wait for graduation day. They're out there somewhere.
It's like the
planning their
opening
next move,
lyrics.
and none of us know what it is, but it's coming, whether we're ready or not.
okay. All in favor of becoming the youngest hunters to single-handedly bring down a corrupt organization conspiring against the Kingdom of Vale, say aye. Yes!
I love it when you're feisty.
I suppose it could be fun.
No one said
No one
I.
said aye.
All right,
Exactly.
We're in this together.
Let's hatch a plan. Yeah! I left my board game in the library.
We're doomed.
I'll be right back. Oh, God, sorry. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Just watch where you're going.
Oh shit.
Right, sorry.
Uh-oh.
I'm Ruby. Are you new?
Visiting from Haven.
Uh-oh. Among Us. Among Us.
Ooh, you're here for the festival. Oh.
No,
but if
Ruby
she
doesn't
seems like
recognize
unfun-
her because she
I guess we just
obscured
got
her
turned
face when she fought
Don't worry,
her
happens all the time.
in episode 1.
Your building is just east of here.
Thanks. Maybe we'll see you around.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, and welcome to Beacon.
Oh boy. Ominous, ominous. Oh. Whoa, whoa, hold on. Okay. Alright. This episode is fucking awesome. There's so much to unpack. Seriously, from world building to the dialogue to oh my god, there's so many cool things happening. Wow. This is so unlike Volume 1, because Volume 1, nothing happens in Volume 1. That in this episode, things are progressing, and they set up themes that continue from episode 1 of Volume 2, from the last episode. They're having a continuity thing from Volume 1, and the villains are making their move. The heroes are about to make their own move as well. Things are happening. This is so exciting. All right, as usual, I'm going to go take a closer look at this episode and we'll come back with notes. All right, I'll see you in a bit. And we're back. We have quite a few things to talk about here. Notes are still unorganized because, yeah, it's okay. I have the Volume 1 notes here, and we will be referring to them because there is some information that is on there that is relevant. So, let's just get Neptune out of the way. Shit, I saw his last name in the credits, but I forgot to write it in. Starts with a V, something weird. But, yeah, Neptune. Flirts with Weiss, is from Haven. I feel like the flirting with Weiss could go somewhere because why else would that be in the show if it wasn't? So I wonder if we're gonna have a romance subplot this season. Who knows? Let's see. Okay, so we get to meet General James Ironwood, who is the general of the Atlas military, the headmaster of the Atlas school, has a history with Glinda, and Glinda does not seem to like him, and is friends with Ozpin, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm assuming Atlas is the last kingdom, because we know that we are in Vale. There is a place called Mistral. There's a place called Vacuo, and actually we did hear more about Vacuo during the card game this time, because conveniently the card game was based on the Four Kingdoms, so we actually got world building out of that, which is really good use of exposition, by the way. Like, this is way better than a teacher sitting at a lecture and spewing information. It is as useful as an actual lecturer spouting shit out in a classroom. So it's not the best way to do it, but it's acceptable. For this is a clever way to do it, where there's a whole series of gags going on around the card game, banter going on, but also world building. So it's not pointless. It's not a pointless scene because we're bonding with the characters and learning more about the world. It's smart. It's really nice. So yeah, I have no idea. I lost my train of thought. But okay, yeah, I think that's that. I'm excited to see more of his character because I really like. No, actually, we're gonna be talking about that. Anyway, okay. Travel between kingdoms has become increasingly difficult, says Ozpin. I wonder why. I wonder what exactly it is that makes it so difficult. They haven't explained. I'm pretty sure this will be explained. I wonder if it's like increased grim activity or if it's something to do with the White Fang or something. But I don't know. But we can assume that the villain faction, the antagonist faction, is making moves behind the scenes. We know this, actually. Hell, Cinder said, we are moving on to phase 2. So that's that. This might have something to do with it. I don't know. And then they mentioned Crow, which, right. A dusty old crow is our uncle and teacher at Signal. So I guess that's literally his name. It's literally Crow. Or a code name. Who knows? I think Ironwood said, like, oh, if what Crow said was true. And Osmond's like, if what Crow said was true, they will handle it tactfully. So he's an informant of them, probably even a friend at this point. I mean, the characters in the show can be split between the villains, the adults, and the children. So the children are our team and Juniper. The good adults are the teachers, and now Ironwood and whatnot. And the bad adults are the villain faction. So we can split it like that. And this has to do with themes that we set up, and I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I assume that we will lump Ruby's uncle into this circle of Glinda, Ironwood, Ozpin as like the good adults faction. So I'm not surprised that they know each other. Story wise, that's a fine enough way to handle all the characters. Grouping them up is really smart. Yeah. Ozpin wants to take more of a discreet approach, while Ironwood would much rather flaunt his forces to probably scare the enemy. But Ozpin's like, well, it's causing civil unrest. You know, people will expect a war if you see the country, the region going to war. Yes, it's a precautionary thing, but Ozpin is prioritizing he's prioritizing the emotions, I guess, of Vale. So he has the people in mind, while Ironwood is more focused on the threat, which makes sense. Characterization-wise, makes sense. He's a general. Meanwhile, Ozpin, we know him to be more of a mysterious headmaster type character. So he cares more about his students, and we see him care individually about the students as well. I mean, he was talking to Blake, literally. I mean, that also is the fallout of last volume, which is really nice that we get some follow up on that. So obviously, they had something to do with it. The Team RWBY had something to do with it at the incident at the docks, and so obviously the school will take some responsibility and be like, hey, tell us what you know about the incident. So yeah, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself right now. I don't want to talk about this yet. I want to talk about this. So yeah, Ironwood brought his fleet to Vale as a caution. And he says, do you honestly believe your children can win a war? Osmond says, I hope they never have to. And I love this exchange specifically because that's the theme. They said it right there. This is the theme of Volume 2 and maybe even the whole show, where last episode we get the whole they're supposed to be the defenders of the world, Glinda says, after they have a food fight, and Osmond's like, yeah, I mean, they eventually will be, but they're still children, so let them play the part of children. And so I remember saying in that reaction of just being like, oh, I sense a theme being set up here, and episode 2 actually followed up on that. I mean, like, yes, I'm so excited. RWBY with themes, let's fucking go. This is the storytelling is gonna get so much stronger. So the theme in question being growing up and whether or not you're ready. This also ties into what Weiss was saying later on, where oh my god, I guess okay, let's just skip around for a bit because trying to talk about this in chronological order is not helping. So let's skip ahead a bit to connect the themes with what Weiss was saying. And I mean, the whole conversation there, really, of Blake being super paranoid about the White Fang and Torchwick, understandably so, because they escaped. And I mean, Penny just obliterated them, so they were thoroughly stopped. But I mean, RWBY stopped Torchwick from robbing that dust store in episode 1 of Volume 1, but they ended up stealing a lot of dust anyway, so her stopping that robbery didn't matter technically, other than like making sure the guy didn't get hurt, the store owner. And so, hell, I mean, the fight at the docks also technically didn't matter because last episode we got was it last episode or the ending of I think it was last episode because Emerald and Mercury were there. They stole a shitload of dust anyway. And they stole enough to the point where they could move on to phase 2. So was what Penny and Blake and Sun did, was all of that for nothing? Because they didn't stop shit. The villains got along with their plan anyway. So the victory of Volume 1 wasn't really a victory, was it? They resolved their conflict within the team, the internal conflict, but externally they didn't change anything. All they did was kind of reveal themselves, well, rather Blake at least, reveal herself to be fighting against them. And the White Fang members probably recognize her. And now she has made a personal vendetta against Torchwick, who she attacked, held hostage for a while. I mean, this is fun. The villains have an upper hand right now. They are actually at an advantage. They've infiltrated Beacon. And RWBY doesn't know. RWBY doesn't know what any of them looks like. Blake wants to be on this case, but isn't telling Ozpin anything. She's holding secrets from Ozpin because she probably doesn't trust him. But I assume, he's an adult. I assume he's like competent enough in his job, because we don't know much about him, but he's very mysterious. And fucking Mr. I've made more mistakes than every man, woman, and child on this planet, whatever. Fucking Mr. I have a tragic backstory feeling ass. He's probably got it. He's probably got it, right? Otherwise, it's weird. It's weird to portray him as incompetent. Do you know what I mean? Like, you set up this character to be mysterious and kind and wise. Definitely wise. He says a lot of wise lines. You can't make a character like that incompetent because that'll clash with that. Why should we listen to the wise words of Ozpin when he can't even handle a situation like this? So that's why I assume, even though Blake isn't telling him about the whole White Fang shenanigans, doesn't want to reveal herself, I'm sure Ozpin is going to look into it and he'll figure it out eventually without Blake telling him. I think that would be the best in terms of how to progress that plotline. Oh my god, I feel like I that was a tangent off of something. A large tangent. Okay, it was we were talking about themes. Right, we were talking about themes. Circling back to that, so they were talking about this Team RWBY at the end of the episode. I'm glad that I guess we're just skipping to the no. Okay. Fucking chronology. Let's just talk about the themes part. Yes, the whole Blake wants to do something about this. Basically, they because they don't know that the plan has moved on to phase 2. All they know is that they got a bunch of ships, but eventually Torchwick got away though. So it was kind of a tie. They stopped whatever that was going on there, but Torchwick escaped. And unbeknownst to them, they didn't really do anything. So Blake is technically right to say that, yeah, we shouldn't be dawdling right now. The teachers don't know what's happening. We know what's happening. We should be doing something about it. And Weiss is like, hey, look, we're students. We have school. We have classes to attend, and you're asking us to save the world. So it's this whole dilemma. It's really cool that we're playing on the whole, like, I don't know why I'm thinking of Harry Potter, but RWBY does feel like Harry Potter a little bit, as disgusting as that is to say. In a sense where it's the children and the mysterious headmaster and villains going on in the background, and one of them has a close tie to the villain faction, and they're secretly going on these missions to stop the villains while being school students. So that's what I mean when I say Harry Potter-esque. And nothing else, okay? So I like that we're having this forward theme of like, hey, all in favor of becoming the youngest students to, single-handedly take down a criminal organization, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's playing on the tropes of, I mean, this happens in anime as well, shonen anime especially, where it's like, oh, we're school students in magic school or in superhero school, and then some big league villains show up, and we gotta stop them, and it's like, oh, but what can kids do? Oh, surprisingly, the kids can do a lot. I'm thinking My Hero Academia, things like that, right? So it's this whole trope. I really like that we're doing this because, well, we're in magic school. Let's do that trope. Why the fuck not? It's fun. So, but I like that we're calling it out. We're acknowledging that, hey, yeah, it is crazy. We're fucking students and sorry, the phrasing. We're students, and what the fuck are we doing dealing with real criminals out there in the world? Why is that our problem? So Weiss does make a point of saying, like, why is that our problem? Like, yes, I understand it's worrying, but we should trust the teachers. Yang was saying, like, hey, the teachers got this, or whatever she was saying. Like, hey, Ozpin said that they have it under control, but Blake wasn't having it. Blake was like, no, I mean, I know the White Fang. They don't. I have that insider intel. I know the kinds of people that they are. I know the kind of faction that they are. So she wants to take advantage of this knowledge that she has in order to put a stop to their plans once and for all. So I'm feeling like they're going to go behind the teacher's back in order to do something like this. So I assume there's probably going to be a plot in this volume where, because we already set this up where Blake was already withholding information from Ozpin. Now we're setting this up. I feel like this is leading into them going behind the teacher's back, going behind Ozpin's back in order to stop the bad guys fucking up somehow and making it worse. I'm thinking that's what it is. The reason I think it's going to fuck up is because of the we're not ready and we may never be ready. It's this whole it's this whole theme of we're children versus something that we are not prepared for. We're not in the same league to be prepared to handle this. We're badass, but maybe this is something beyond us. And because it's set up like that, this isn't going to be some Saturday morning cartoon. Yay, the kids are going to save the day. I mean, I'm sure that will eventually happen, but they first need to be punished for it. This is storytelling 101. They are the underdogs. And factually, they are out of the villains' league completely. They are leagues below the adults because we see the gap between how the good adults are portrayed versus how the kids are portrayed. And then you look at how the villains are portrayed, the bad adults versus the children. Sure, we may get some wins here and there, but ultimately we've seen that our progress didn't matter. So, especially since Cinder seems to be the most powerful one out of them all, she's the leader, RWBY couldn't even damage her back in Volume 1, and we don't know the capabilities of Emerald and Mercury. We don't know what they can do. And now they're infiltrating the school. They're imposters. They're fucking Among Us. I'm sorry. I've got Gen Z brain rot. But we're completely fucked, basically. And so what's going to happen is they're going to take matters into their own hands. Things are going to fuck up. And then it's going to feel like, oh no, Weiss is right. Oh no, the adults are right. We are not prepared. We are in over our heads. We need help. We need to work with the adults. We need to trust Ozpin, tell him shit, and then work together to take down the bad guys. And I think that will be a cool way to resolve this volume, where it ties it back around of being like, yes, we are independent young people who want to make a change in the world, and we understand that the adults are competent. They're the ones in power, but we feel as though they are not enough. They're not doing enough, and we have the energy, we have the drive to do that. So let us. So I feel like a cooperation between the two generations will be the thing that topples the bad guys. Now, I don't believe they're going to completely wipe out the villain organization this volume, but we're going to do some damage because, I mean, I don't know about the structure of the show. I know there's a time skip somewhere. Don't remember which volume, but if we're going based off of rules of 3, then volume 1, 2, 3 is a thing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. There are 9 volumes, right? That's a 3-act structure. Maybe. I don't know, but this is volume 2. I don't believe we're going to take down the villain organization yet. But this time, instead of them being able to move on to phase 3, we're probably actually going to stop them and set them back a bit. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, holy yap. Right. So, yeah, this shows the difference in mentality. The general, obviously, is more military-minded. He's thinking about this as, hey, we shouldn't send children to war. Yes, we're training children. We're training teenagers to fight. This is our world. This is how it is. They become huntsmen and huntresses to fight monsters. We train them at a young age. But a war, a full-on war, is not something we want. So the general says no to war. And Osmond is like, yeah, also no to war, but I want to be more discreet about it. So that's difference in mentality. That sets up a conflict in ideology between the two of them. I'm really curious to see where that goes. Also, Atlas is part of Mantle. Because again, the card game. Well, it's not a card game. It's like a. How do I say? I forget the genre. Some game designer I am. Yeah, but Ruby mentioned Atlas being part of Mantle. I assume that's more world building. Mantle's probably like a larger region that Atlas is in the same way that Doko. In the same way that Mistral is a region, but Sanctum is a school, maybe there's something there. Maybe Atlas is the name of the school and Mantle is the name of the region. I mean, yeah, that could work. But yeah. Also, Nevermore is the bird grim. I know this because Yang was talking about the trap card Nevermore or something. I forget whether it was a trap card, but she mentioned the Nevermore, and then the screen was showing the bird. I don't think we actually had a name for that. If someone mentioned it in the comments, I totally forgot. It's been a while. Because we know that the Deathstalker is the scorpion. We know that there's a Beowulf. I assume it's the stuff we saw in Ruby's trailer. There's also Rapier Wasp, the Ursa, which are the bears. And I think there was mention of Ursa or Ursai in the card game. But yeah, it wasn't significant enough for me to write down. But world building, yay! I love that. Yeah, so Blake is restless and anxious, kept information from Ospen, believes he should be doing more to improve human faunus relations. Yeah, because she believes that Ospen is a good guy, and that's fine. It's just that she doesn't feel like he's doing enough, which is fair. I think it's a fair criticism of Ospen because his whole thing is he wants to take things discreetly, subtly. Maybe his flaw is that he takes things too slow. He takes things too he keeps it too safe, and whenever a reckless decision or a risk has to be taken, he doesn't want to take that risk. Maybe because hey, remember he's supposedly made more mistakes than anyone else on this planet, right? So maybe that has caused him to be overly cautious. Could be, I don't know, but that seems to make sense. I want people to see me for who I am, not what I am, says Blake, and Osmond says, "Who are you?" And she wasn't able to answer, and then he went to a different topic, started interrogating her. But I wrote that down because I feel like that has to do with Blake's arc this volume. Because, I mean, look, dialogue is written for a purpose. Things aren't just in there to be in there. So this is one of Blake's goals. So I assume her external drive is to stop the White Fang plot, but her internal motivation is that to be seen as Blake Belladonna, the not necessarily faunus, but the person who fights for justice, not what she is, which is a faunus. But Osmond was questioning, what is even your identity? Like, you want people to see the real you, but what is the real you? You're hiding that from me. You hid that from your team. And like, what exactly do you want people to see of you? You hide in the shadows. You're not exactly someone who's out in the limelight. So what do you mean by this? Like, what do you really mean by this? So I don't know. It could be leading into her arc. But it's crazy that she gets a second arc, but that's what it feels like, right? It feels like Blake is getting her second arc in the story, and technically this is a different volume. It's a different thing. You could say it's the same arc, but like over the course of, because I saw someone in the comments was mentioning that, oh, volumes 1, 2, and 3 are like a package, so there's no themes in volume 1. Dog, do you know how stories work? You can't just give them a pass for writing an entire season. I mean, 10 episodes. Like, if you combine the parts together, 10 episodes, and there's no themes. You can't That's not how that works. You can't just give them a pass for that just because, oh well, the first few volumes are connected in one long thing. You still need themes for that volume. So yeah, just calling out that comment. I don't even remember when that was, but that was a while ago. So I'm not saying that Volume 1 didn't have themes, but like I said in the Volume 1's reactions, just it was very weak. But I still enjoyed it because of its own merits, blah blah blah. But this one I feel like is way more heavy on the themes, and this is like where the story really starts. That Volume 1 was the inciting incident of the overarching story. This is where we actually get our main story, but technically speaking, this is Blake's second arc. So there's that. I hope Yang gets an arc this time. Yeah, I hope. Same thing I was saying from the last volume. Yang should have an arc. If Blake's having also her arc, and Weiss could have a romance arc with Neptune. John likes her, doesn't he? Oh, let's not do a love triangle. But it is a school thing. This is very anime as fuck, so let's see. I don't like love triangles, but I mean, okay, that's a lie. I like love triangles. It's just like if you do it shittily, I'm gonna hate you. Anyway, that's besides the point. So wait, so if three of them are getting arcs, like probably, like I'm just speculating, if three of them get arcs, then what the fuck is RWBY supposed to do? Let's not forget, RWBY, wait, yeah, that's right, RWBY is the main character. I forget. We're so focused in on Weiss and Blake stuff that I forgot that RWBY is the main character. Shit. Uh-oh. That's not very good, RWBY. But whatever. She did bump into Cinder, so maybe Blake is more focused on the White Fang plot stuff, while RWBY's more focused on the Cinder stuff. I think that would make more sense. Actually, that makes perfect sense because Cinder is set up to be the lead. She is the leader of the villain faction, right? So it would make the most sense for the main character to run into the leader and eventually tussle. Didn't we see them fight in the opening or something? I forget. Everyone was fighting in the opening. But yeah, yeah. So I'll just see where it goes. But yeah, yeah. I've said everything I need to say. Holy shit, my yapping was longer than the episode itself. It's like almost twice as long. Hey, you clicked on a Seru reaction video. This is more like a commentary analysis thing rather than a reaction thing. So you know how it is. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. If this keeps up, Volume 2 probably will be my favorite volume so far. But that's not really saying much. I'm not even halfway through the second one, so it's not really meaning anything. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm really enjoying Volume 2 so far. I'll definitely have the opening memorized by the time the next episode comes out. I promise you, I'm gonna start singing along to the opening. So yeah, tell me what you think of the episode. If you listened through my entire yapping, first of all, thank you so much for sitting through all of this. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.